He asked me why I was here, and I told him I just felt like I was being poisoned. I was on all this medication, and I couldn't see that it was doing any good. Well, he told me I probably was being poisoned, and so he would work with me to get off the medication. And we did that, and along with weight loss from the weight gain from smoking, it took, I don't know how long it took, but everything takes time. It's just not done overnight, any of it. But when I lost the weight, I had lost about 20 pounds then. I came back and I said, why am I not feeling any better? This is the crux of what really happened. And he said, well, Janie, I don't know. He said, but I have a theory. So he said, I want to test you for toxicity, metal toxicity. And so he ran the test, and it came back, and I had high lead and mercury and whatever else, arsenic, I don't know, it's all kinds of stuff in there that I shouldn't have in my body. I have felt just absolutely better every day, and now I just feel like I'm well. I feel like there's nothing that I can't do.
Dr. Buttar has established that there is a genetic link to the ability that certain people have to excrete heavy metals. When he first looked at my result here and saw that I was not putting out any significant metals after a challenge, he said to me, I have some bad news for you. You're a non-excreter. And that actually was good news to me, because now I knew I wasn't crazy and that my body was not putting these things out. Well, in the meantime, I had done some research and found out that genomic testing could be done. I could actually have my genes tested. And when I had this done, I found out that genetically, I lack several enzymes that help the liver to put out heavy metals, car exhaust fumes, cigarette smoke. So I was an easy setup in a toxic environment for cancer and heavy metal poisoning for that reason. This whole concept of not being able to excrete heavy metals is very important, I found, especially in working with Dr. Buttar, in diseases, not just cancer, but diseases like autism, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, ALS, all of these other diseases that we see that conventional medicine really does not know how to address. They just know how to treat symptomatically to a small degree. But these people, just like myself, are poisoned people. And the only way to truly reverse these diseases is to get the poisons out and allow the body a chance to heal itself. Now with me, I know now that I have deficiencies, and I can remember a commercial years ago that said we all need help now and then. Well, that certainly applies to me in terms of excreting these metals. So this has been a profound breakthrough for me to have learned these things, and I'm very grateful to Dr. Buttar for that.
Wow, I started getting sick about 7 years ago. And it just started off with stiffness in my fingers. And the first few doctors thought, oh, it's just PMS, or it's all in your head. And then one of them finally sent me to a rheumatologist who said, looks like arthritis. Did a lot of tests but couldn't find anything conclusive. 4 years into it, I ended up at the Mayo Clinic, and 10 days of appointments in six different departments, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong. At that point, I could hardly move up and down steps. I couldn't walk very far. I had to sit down a lot. It was very, very frustrating. I had a lot of symptoms. I had rashes, I had hives, I had clearly, obviously, some food allergies in there. A lot of joint pain, ankles, knees, hips, elbows, hands. I would wake up in the middle of the night when my hands would move. It was just no fun. When the Mayo Clinic sent me home, and they said, you know, you're bound for a wheelchair. There's nothing we can do for you. I read a book called Living Well with Autoimmune Disease. And in the book, the author says that the people who get better are the ones who see osteopaths or other alternative care physicians. So I went to the Charlotte phone book, and I said, okay, let's look for one. There were 3 of them listed, and in the first one that I called, the number was discontinued. The second one, there was no answer, and the third one was Dr. Buttar. So that's how I got here. Dr. Buttar found out that I have lead, arsenic, and mercury poisoning, really high levels, and I was just so sick. That was my main issue, was the metals poisoning, and it triggered, the metals poisoning will trigger all sorts of other things. Your immune system starts to go crazy. It says, hey, you know, this isn't supposed to be here, but I can't fight it, so I'm going to fight something. And in my case, it went after my joints. It messed up my digestive system such that I got all those food allergies, and then ended up with the hives and the rashes and all of that other stuff. It made my head fuzzy. It was harder to concentrate. I would get in the middle of a thought and go, oh wait, what was I thinking about a second ago? It was frustrating, very frustrating, because I'm a very focused, very determined kind of person, and that was changing, and I'm like, oh, this is so not me, something's wrong. I felt like I had finally found somebody who knew what I was going through and who knew what could get me back out of it. I have a great outlook on my future now. I've gotten my life back. We've started another business. I had to get rid of my other business when I got so sick, so my husband and I have started up another business. And every day is just exciting. I can jump out of bed. I can go do my thing. I don't have to worry anymore about, oh, what if I'm going to have to stand up a long time? Am I going to have to walk up steps to get in there? I don't have to think about that anymore. All of those things are just gone and no longer issues. So it makes everything else seem so much easier because of where I was and what I had to worry about before. And none of that's an issue. Anything can happen now. It's exciting.